Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of Meet the Opposition. I'm joined once again from Marc Iles from the Bolton News to discuss Town's trip to the Uni Bowl. I saw that on your one of your pieces on the Bolton News. You call it the Uni Bowl because it's the University of Bolton Stadium, aka the Reebok. That is what I used to call it. That's the best name for it. But Marc, thanks for joining me. Last time we faced, we got absolutely thrashed by Bolton. 5-2 at Portland Road. Paul Cook was in charge. And he's gone since then. But how have Bolton got on? 4 defeats in a row, 18th in League One. It's not been going so well for Bolton, but overall thoughts for the man who covers them across the country.
Yeah, don't rub it in. Look, it's been halcyon days. They've not been any better than they were at that point in time. Bolton beat Charlton 4-1 away. They beat Ipswich 5-2 away. You know, at that point in time, we're talking about playoffs and can we go double promotion? Since then, you know, had a dreadful October and November and December, and January hasn't been much better either. So they've dropped like a stone, really. There have been problems. They've had injuries. They had a massive COVID issue as well over Christmas, got 3 games cancelled. So there are some excuses, but ultimately the team isn't playing that well at the moment. So dare I say it, it's a great time to play Bolton Wanderers.
Oh, dearie me, that's not good for Ipswich Town fans when we hear that. Oh, it's a good time to play this team. Normally when we play a team who are underperforming, not done well in the recent months, weeks, normally we give them the win. Of course, it's been a busy window already for Bolton in January, and it's not a surprise probably because that always happens. 4 January signings so far. Who are they? And one stands out for me, and that is Dion Charles, who scores at this level at Accrington. Of course, he hasn't played as much because he wanted to leave, but 4 really good signings.
Yeah, well, 5 if you count the fact they've extended Xavier Michi into the end of the season as well. But yeah, Dion's certainly the one that people will look at. He scored 20 goals last season for Accrington, which is no mean feat in that team, really. But he fell out with John Coleman, manager there, over not signing a new contract. So they mothballed him a little bit. Obviously, I think they referred to it as a Mexican standoff. So that was the case, but Bolton fancied him. They actually paid cash for the first time for a player since August 2018 was the last time Bolton had signed a cash player, and before that it was 2015. So cash deals are extremely rare. And yet they paid £300,000 to bring Dion Charles in. So, a lot of kind of pressure on him, particularly as Owen Doyle as well, who'd been top scorer last season at Bolton, went out the other way. He's gone back to live in Ireland and play in Ireland with St. Patrick's. They've loaned in Marlon Fossey. You'll definitely recognise Marlon Fossey when you see him, and you'll be able to pick him out. He's got massive hair, absolute athlete up and down the right-hand side. He's made a good impression as well. And then more recently, they brought in James Trafford from Manchester City in goal, and he may well make his debut against Ipswich on Saturday, as will Aaron Morley, who they've also paid a cash fee for. He's coming from Rochdale, a ball player. He's played at this level before, still very young, but still, you know, he's 21, but he's got 120 games behind him, so he's one to watch, I think, for Bolton in the coming years. So yeah, quite optimistic, to be honest. Lots going on at Bolton. It's never ever dull at Bolton Wanderers. Believe me, I had a full head of hair when I started covering this club, and that has bit the dust.
Definitely. And let's talk about the possible lineup. As you said, there'll be a debut probably for Trafford in goal. His lineup down below. A few other names to sort of mention. Kieran Lee always stands out for me. He's always been a good midfielder. Dapo Afolayan, of course, scored twice at Portman Road, but I've seen he hasn't scored since October. So what's been going on with him, and any other names to check out there?
Yeah, I mean, Dapo's slowed down a bit, to be fair. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him. He started the season really well, scored loads of goals early on. People are starting to talk about him, you know, as being somebody that Bolton could lose in January and all this kind of stuff. But I think as the team declined, the pressure became sort of more and more on him, and I think he's maybe started snatching at chances a bit and maybe fatiguing a little bit as well. So it's good that they've brought in some more people now around him. They've made a slight tactical tweak as well, which puts less defensive pressure on Afolayan because he was doing a lot more defensive work than you probably want him to do. So now, fingers crossed, he can get back to being the player that terrorised Ipswich at Portman Road. That'd be lovely. No, about the other ones, I mean, Rico Santos, the centre half, is difficult to miss. To be fair, massive centre back, wins lots in the air. He's quite comfortable on the ground, but again, like Afolayan, had a brilliant season last year. All this hype, he's going to be the next big thing, but actually he is currently in a poor run of form. And as the club captain as well, you get that extra bit of pressure on your shoulders as well. So, with Ricardo Santos, he needs a good performance as well. So, yeah, we're looking for him. I think he scored an own goal actually down at your place. So, maybe he owes you one. Who knows?
Most definitely. And of course, it's going to be a battle of the young managers. Of course, Kieran Mckay is 35, Ian Everett is 40. So it's a battle of the young coaches. Before it was Paul Cook and Ian fighting up against each other. As you mentioned, he was a captain with him under Chesterfield, but Paul Cook is now gone. Kieran Mckay is in charge. What sort of game can we expect? I'm sure, hopefully, it's a bit different from the game earlier in the season.
Well, we spoke to Ian yesterday, and he said basically we've got to win no matter what. I think he's really. Normally he's a self-confessed football snob. And Bolton have had a very quite distinct brand of football. They play out from the back, all that kind of stuff, to their detriment sometimes. I mean, there'll be Bolton fans pulling their hair out sometimes with, the extra pass that they play and all that kind of palaver. But I get the feeling perhaps he is making these little tweaks now, making things more functional. Maybe with these new signings, being able to just maybe alter the balance in midfield a little bit more towards the more defensive. So hopefully these new signings will have an impact on the way it is. It may be a slightly different game to the one that Bolton played away from home, because on a big pitch, at home, a bit more comfortable, they will try and play a bit more possession football rather than maybe sitting and hitting on the break as they would have done away from home. But no, it should be interesting, because obviously Kieran McKenna's got them playing at Ipswich, won a couple of games, and it's not quite the absolute mess that we saw at the start of the season. Because I have to say, Ross, I love Ipswich. I always love coming down there, but that is as messy a back four as I have ever seen in my whole life, to be truthful.
Yeah, Christian Walton has impressed since then. Of course, that was his debut in goal, and concede 5 goals is never great. But since then, he's done well, and I think we're hoping he will sign permanently, but we'll wait and see on that. What is your prediction then, Mark? What are you feeling going into this one? Can Bolton get back to winning ways, or are Town going to make it 3 wins in a row, or is it going to be a point each?
Do you know what I'd like to see, Ross? I would like just to see Bolton take the lead in a game. Bolton have surrendered the first goal 19 times out of 24 this season, which is crazy, really. And they've come back to win a fair few points, considering they're 18th. They've actually won quite a few points from losing positions, but it seems to be, mountain to climb every time. I would just love to see a Bolton team take the lead, just enjoy it for a bit, and then maybe, 1-1 draw would do me, I think, just to stop the losing run, and a performance that you can maybe build on, because they're bringing in another couple of players next week. I think the Bolton that comes out of January will be stronger, and when that team beds down, they'll have maybe not the same run as they did last year to go and get promotion, but they will have a better second half of the season. I don't expect them to be involved in the relegation race personally. I think mid-table would be quite acceptable to me. But this is where it starts now. So I'm hoping just some, little wins, minor improvements to see against Ipswich, and obviously you don't want to get beat at home. That's my wish anyway.
And do you know what? I'm going for a draw as well. I feel it's just one of those games where I go into, and as I said, the record at the moment for Bolton isn't great. I don't think we're going to lose, but I think a 2-2 draw, the classic scoreline back in 2000s. Marcus Stewart's 2 great goals. But yeah, 2-2 is what I'm going for. Good old Desmond. And just little advice now, really, for the away fans going to their first trip to Bolton. Any tips, anything else they can maybe look forward to? And at Bolton, are the away fans in the bottom tier, or are they upper tier this season? What's going on?
They'll have the whole end behind the goal. Normally they'll be top tier, but I don't know what the allocate or how many have been bought. To be truthful, I've not got the latest on that one, so they could go both tiers theoretically. As far as drinking before the game, Bolton their new stadium. It's not new anymore, but the stadium is out of town, as people will know. It's in Horwich rather than in Bolton. So my advice would always be you go into Bolton on the train, or you drive into Bolton, have a pint, have something to eat in the town centre, and then get a train over to Horwich Parkway. There are a few pubs around Horwich, but there's a lot of home fans around there, so it's probably better to do town centre drinking, and also it's cheaper. You'll be able to get a better pint there, and believe me, there are some nice pints to be had in Bolton.
Definitely. And Mark, it's been a pleasure. Any other notes before we wrap up? Well, I am looking forward to this one. It's a long trip up to Bolton, but you've already gone down to Portman Road, so it's our turn now to go up to Bolton. Any other notes, my friend?
Yeah, well, we're not as close to Holland, so it feels okay up here. It's cold, wrap up warm. Don't expect any of your sunny climates up at Castle Breeze Block. It's going to be cold, but I think it'll be a good game. I know Ian Everts. We'll have a story coming out, and imagine later today, as this is going out, talking about being slightly disappointed at seeing Paul Cook go. I'm sure there'll be Ipswich fans that definitely weren't, but I think he felt that maybe Ipswich were a little bit quick to pull the trigger on that one. So maybe keep an eye out for that. Give it a read. Let me know what you think, and give me a few more hits. It'd be nice.
Definitely. I'm sure many fans will be looking at that and will be commenting, and I'm sure other papers will take them quotes as well. So extra
always
there.
Always the case.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining me. Let us know in the comments down below your predictions, your thoughts, and safe travels up to Bolton. And Bolton fans, bring it on. Let's go. Bye-bye for now.
See you later, guys.